The Torrent was a crossover SUV offered by the Pontiac division. Sharing mechanical components with the Chevrolet Equinox, the Torrent offered a standard V6 engine with a lot of versatility. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the Pontiac Torrent, a small SUV that had a good amount of space and features at an attractive price. So grab a peanut butter and jelly soda, kick back, and let's get down to the nitty-gritty. The General Motors Theta Platform is a platform developed to underpin compact and midsize crossover SUVs. The architecture made its debut in 2002 with a new SUV from the Saturn division, known as the View. This platform would later be used for the Chevy Equinox, and eventually an SUV from the Pontiac division. The Equinox made its initial appearance at the 2003 North American International Auto Show, and went on sale in 2004 for the 2005 model year. Both the Saturn View and Chevrolet Equinox became popular amongst customers, and in a typical GM fashion, Pontiac would soon get its own rebadged variant. 2005, the Pontiac Torrent entered production this year, being assembled in Canada. The new SUV went on sale in late 2005 for the 2006 model year. Pontiac's new SUV was a lightly repurposed version of the Chevrolet Equinox, sharing the same car-like architecture as the Equinox and View. The Torrent shared its basic body structure and mechanicals with the Equinox, but of course had Pontiac styling cues, such as the twin-port grille up front, for example. Pontiac's previous SUV had made a name for itself with its polarizing design. The Aztek had versatility and a load of optional equipment in conjunction with its out-of-this-world appearance. Unfortunately, this wasn't enough for the crossover to be widely accepted. The Aztek was dropped, with its controversial styling being to blame for its rapidly declining sales. The new Torrent, on the other hand, played it safe, with fresh, toned-down styling that would not offend anyone. And since this new crossover was now on sale, the execs wanted the Aztek purged from everyone's memory. Body cladding was a thing of the past, and unlike the Saturn View, which had plastic body panels, the new Torrent, just like the Equinox, sported sheet metal. The Aztek was slightly larger than something like a Lexus RX 300. The Torrent had a generous wheelbase of 112.5 inches. This was longer than the contemporary Honda Pilot and Toyota Highlander by half a foot. Although the unibody was mechanically similar to the Saturn View and the Suzuki XL7, the Torrent and Equinox were larger than the View, considering the 112.5-inch wheelbase, as well as an entire 5.9 inches longer than the Saturn SUV. Torrent buyers got standard front-wheel drive with optional all-wheel drive. Unlike the contemporary truck-based Tahoe, Trailblazer, or even something like the Buick Rainier, these small utility vehicles were not designed for off-roading or rock climbing. They were more comfortable as highway cruisers. The Torrent shared the Equinox powertrain, a 3.4-liter V6 good for 185 horsepower, and a 5-speed automatic. Towing capacity was rated at 3,500 pounds. The Torrent could easily carry 5 adults, but no third-row seat was offered. With its long wheelbase, however, the Torrent offered plenty of room for whoever was brought along for the ride. To make way for larger passengers or cargo, the 60-40 split rear seat could slide nearly 8 inches fore and aft. The Torrent offered 35 cubic feet of luggage space behind its rear seats, but folding down the rear seat bumped up the total to 69 cubic feet. In the cockpit, the Torrent featured relatively stylish chrome-ringed gauges and a sporty 3-spoke steering wheel. With a base price in the low $20,000 range, the Pontiac Torrent was generally cross-shopped against compact SUVs, such as the Escape or Mazda Tribute, which were the same, the CR-V, Outlander, and RAV4, although it was actually a bit bigger than most of those vehicles. The Torrent was very similar to the Equinox. Overall, the only major mechanical difference between the two, other than exterior design, was that the Pontiac had a slightly stiffer suspension. GXP at the time was Pontiac's performance-oriented line. For example, the top-of-the-line Grand Prix with the LS4 engine, or the top-of-the-line Bonneville with the Northstar engine. These are only two examples, but the Pontiac division wanted the GXP line to be synonymous with excitement and performance. Going on sale in the fall of 2007 as a 2008 model, the Torrent SUV was offered in GXP form as well. Just like how the standard Torrent was equivalent to the standard Equinox, the Torrent GXP was equivalent to the Equinox Sport. And while it did not pack a V8 under hood like other Pontiac GXPs, it did get a lively V6 engine. The GXP came equipped with a new 6-speed automatic paired to a 3.6-liter dual overhead cam V6. The mill cranked out 264 horsepower and 250 pound-feet of torque with a tested 0 to 60 time of 6.7 seconds. During that time, those numbers were quite impressive for a small, economical SUV. General Motors boasted and bragged in magazines and TV commercials how the Torrent GXP had a horsepower advantage over the BMW X3. This was in an attempt for GM to make Pontiac a low-cost rival to BMW. GXP buyers were treated to 18-inch 5-spoke chrome wheels, twin hood scoops, and a unique front and rear body kit. The GXP Torrent sat an inch lower to the ground and had 6.6 inches of ground clearance. The lower stance, the 18-inch wheels, and no roof rack gave the Torrent a smoother design compared to the standard Torrent. The GXP was equipped with a performance-tuned suspension and hydraulic power-assisted steering. This was opposed to the electric version, which was found on the standard Torrent. There was improved interior trim, which featured piano black and chrome trim on the console and dash gauges. Out back, one would notice dual chrome tipped exhausts. All Pontiac GXPs got their own unique gauges. The Torrent was no exception. Buyers could choose a navigation system option along with heated sport leather seats, DVD entertainment system, and a sunroof. Just like the GXP for 2008, there was also a Torrent Podium Edition to coincide with the 2010 Winter Olympic Games. However, the Torrent Podium Edition was only made available to Canadian buyers. 2009 would mark the final model year with the final Torrent rolling out the assembly line in September 2009. Not a big surprise there, since General Motors was planning on shuttering the Pontiac division in 2010. If the execs had it their way, a new Buick SUV would have been built on the GM Theta platform and introduced in 2010 to fill in for the Torrent, but plans changed at the last minute. General Motors decided to roll out a new GMC SUV instead. This new SUV would be built on the Theta platform and called the GMC Terrain, going on sale in 2009 as a 2010. Buick did eventually get a smaller SUV. The Envision debuted in the US at the North American International Auto Show in early 2016. However, it shared a segment with the second generation Terrain and Equinox. It went on sale in the United States in summer of 2016, making it the first Chinese-built GM vehicle to be sold in America. The Torrent outsold the previous Aztek 2-1 until the 2008 recession, and although it had a short production run, it was Pontiac's more successful attempt to hack the SUV segment. Let us know if you owned or drove a Pontiac Torrent. As always, thanks for coming out to the show, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until next time, this is your host Rob, and thanks for tuning in to Antique Tags.